over 8 years here on YouTube as the Frugal Mama, and this is our live stream. I have been away. I was on a road trip and I've been recovering from that road trip. It was a lot of fun and I had a wonderful time, but as many of you know, I have struggled for the last couple of years with tailbone and hip issues, and I thought I was 100% over that, but apparently not when it comes to extended road trips where I have to do all the driving. So anyway, I'm doing good, and I just need to be doing better at my physical therapy, working on that, and planning my next road trip, which will be for my 20th wedding anniversary. James and I will be doing a road trip of Colorado next month. Okay, we have a lot. We have a lot to talk about. I had been discussing over on My Current Obsession. Hi, Renee. Thanks for being here. Over on My Current Obsession, I had been discussing how I was going to go about this. Hi, Vicky. Oh, I'll do that right now. Thank you, my dear. We are setting to subscribers only in the chat. Okay. All right. I also have wasp spray out here because the goddamn wasps are out of control right now. Okay, let's see. Do that. Hold on. Oh. Okay. That's okay. We'll just go with the regular speaker. I don't want to, yeah. Anyway, so what I was saying is, I'm pretty sure that the wasps have a home in that skeleton. So after the live stream, I will have James help me suss it out. But until then, I do have the wasp spray and an EpiPen. And a fan. It's a little bit overcast today. Oof. But when those clouds move, yeah, it's going to get rough. There's a chance that we'll move elsewhere. I don't know where. Maybe just inside. Yeah, if it gets too hot, we'll just move inside. But I've been wanting to, be out here, get some vitamin D. Anyway, hi, Pamela. Thanks for being here. So over on my other channel, which I called My Current Obsession, we've been live streaming every day over there, and we'll live stream again this evening over there. We've been talking about some stuff that has been going on here at the Frugal Family home and recent events and everything, and we've been discussing how to go about this conversation that I need to have with you. So, oh, and the neighbors are out. Yeah, we might go inside. I think we will. Darn it, I really wanted to be outside, but with all the wasps and then the clouds moved and the neighbors are out, maybe we'd best go inside. Hold on. Guys, I've got to do this inside. I didn't want to, but at least I won't need the fan, right? So there's that. Just a sec. Let me turn that off. And let's go get my drinks, because I still want those. Let's get my drinks. Yes. We'll bring that stuff in and then take care of those wasps later. Okay, sorry, the lighting is not nearly as good in here as it is outside. We'll open up these blinds, see if we can make a difference. So over on My Current Obsession, I've been live streaming down in the new corner down there in the hallway that James and the kids finished for me. And it's been awesome. And I have a good lighting setup figured out down there. And it's been good. Anyway, so over there, we have been talking about things that are going on in my life and in the family right now. James, will you shut that door, please? I'm live streaming. James went on this like really awesome, really intense bike ride, and he has like hours and hours and hours of footage that he's working through. He said it was the most intense bike ride ever for him. So yeah, that's something, because he's been on a lot of bike rides. Okay, all right. I was gonna do, well, I'd thought about doing an edited video where I would sit down and talk all this out. That way I didn't have to say the same things 10 times over. But then I decided I didn't want to. Why? Because that's me, and I change my mind all the damn time. So here's the thing. Let's just tell you the things. Hi, Judy. We'll be live over on my current obsession later this evening. So I came home from the road trip. It was an amazing road trip. Had a wonderful time. Definitely struggling a little bit physically, but I mean, it's not unmanageable, and I just need to do my physical therapy. So I came home, and Olivia told me, because she went back to work, right? We came home from our road trip. It was Olivia and I and her best friend. And we came home. She went back to work, and she was driving my van. And she mentioned to me that it felt like it was kind of sliding. Well, when we came home, when we got home, there was like this monsoon type situation, crazy rainstorm here in Utah. And I had hydroplaned a couple of times in the rental car. And so I just assumed, since there was, still water and stuff like that on the road. Hi, Alyssa. I assumed that she was talking about hydroplaning. So I believe it was the next day, I used the van to go, take Mariah to the orthodontist. And I noticed once we got up to freeway speed that, yeah, something was not right, and it was not hydroplaning. The roads were dry, not a cloud in the sky. So it was terrifying. It was so terrifying. It was like as though the back left tire was not connected to the van. Like it was entirely disconnected is what it felt like, and I had no control over it. So we got into the slow lane. We went as slow as possible. It was scary. We made it to the orthodontist, and then I called James, and I did a little Google search, and I realized that the back two tires were quite low on air. And Dr. Google said that those could be part of the issue. So we got done at the orthodontist, and I looked for, gas stations. We went to like 2 different gas stations, and neither of them had air pumps. And so we took the back roads super slow with the hazard lights on, and hallelujah, we safely made it home. So, and when I had called James, he had said, if you feel safe taking the back roads and going home, fine. But if not, call me and I'll come get you. I made the executive decision, right or wrong. I mean, we got home safe, hallelujah, but I made that decision to just get home so that he wouldn't have to leave work. But but he was more than willing to come and pick us up. So anyhow, came home, parked the car, and was like, what do we do? So I had the kids fill the tires with air. And then because I had decided it was because the tires were low on air. It can make a big difference. And Olivia took the van to work. I think it was that night. Yeah, it was that night. Or the next day. No, I think it was the next day, because I think it was the next day. So she went to work, and I asked her, well, how did it go? The drive. And she said it was definitely better, but it wasn't, there's still something wrong. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm thinking, okay, the last time we took the van in to get it registered, I don't know how it is everywhere else in the world, but that's a thing you have to do once a year here in the US of America. You take it in, you have like some safety checks done, whatever, get your license plate updated, like little stickers updated. Anyhow, they had told us that there were these certain issues with the back. I don't know if it was the back and the front, but I think it was just the back. Reggie, will you let la gatita out? Um, Things that needed to be replaced back there, whatever, and it would have been thousands of dollars on a now, let's see, it's 2015, 21-year-old van. 21-year-old paid off van. Hi, Shatika. I'm so glad you could join us. So we decided, no, we're not going to invest more money. It might have been Axel's, Judy. I don't recall, but that sounds correct. We decided we're not going to invest thousands more dollars into a 21-year-old van, which I think made sense for us. So, and not that we had like that kind of money just laying around. We have an emergency fund, but you know, this wasn't an emergency when we had went to register it. Okay, so we opted to not do those repairs and invest thousands more dollars, like I said, into a 21-year-old van, and said, okay, well, let's run it into the ground. Let's get absolutely whatever we can, any more life we can out of this van that we've had for almost 14 years. We bought it used, and we have driven it and used it and made repairs and replacements and whatever along the way for 14 years. It has served us, and it's, you know, Olivia had already planned after the trip that she was going to save up for her own car, and you know, we would help her get a loan, and you know, so she could do that, and she just needs to put together a down payment. That was already part of the plan. And she's been the main one driving the van. I've only been using it for dumpster diving and like doctor's appointments. That's basically been it. So hardly ever. Well, so Olivia was at work and James called her, and because he had asked me, does Olivia have the van or did she like take an Uber? And I said, no, she took the van. It felt better, you know, because we had put air in the tires. And he said, okay. So he called her and said, I'm going to come meet up with you. And so he met up with her at work, and he took the van for like a test drive. And after the test drive, he told Olivia, you're not driving the van. So he left his car with Olivia, and he drove the van home. And that was a few days ago. And I have been, since then, trying to figure out how to tell you guys about it. I don't care if this seems over dramatic, that we're having like essentially a grieving process over an automobile, but there's so much more to it than an automobile. And I am so grateful that over on my current obsession, my grown-up channel, where I stream every single day, live stream every single day for at least an hour, we've been processing it over there, and my like super hardcore group of our friends, you know, our YouTube friends have been helping me. Thank you so much. You guys know who you are, to process through everything that it means that the van is dead, unsafe to drive, and not worth the investment to make her safe again. It means a lot. Well, what is the immediate plan? Because we have to have cars. We live in the Western United States, and the states are ginormous here, and the public transit, Olivia's been finding out, is atrocious, absolutely horrible. Hi, Rita. So you got to have a car. It's the way it's designed out here, and I don't like it, but it is what it is. So here's the plan. James is going to get a work car, just something inexpensive that, you know, we could pay cash, whatever, and he could have something that gets better gas mileage than his Acura, which does not get good gas mileage. So he's going to get something else, and then the Acura would be essentially the family car that I would use for things near and close by, doctor visits, you know, getting kids to and from whatever. And Olivia will be with our help, get a loan and get her own car. And that's all well and good. But it leaves us with some issues to discuss. The Acura still has a car payment. It's a newer car. We don't buy brand new cars, so it's not a new car, but it's new to us, right? And it's a nice car. It's pretty and it's nice. James does use it for his bike trips, and that's another big component of all of this. And so it's not like it's, a pristine, must stay beautiful all the time kind of a car. But it is not one that we want to be dripping stuff everywhere in. Not that we do much of that anymore. I'm a lot more careful now with totes and things like that. But Olivia has offered very generously to share a couple of times a month her new car when she gets it, to share it with us so that we can still go dumpster diving a couple of times a month. Phyllis, Kitty is wonderful. She is outside. She just barely went back outside. But this changes everything. The car that Olivia is looking at is a small sedan, which doesn't make things impossible, but it absolutely changes things. You guys know that I use the rake quite a bit. Well, I don't think that necessarily would fit safely in a small sedan. I'm sure we could fit the stepladder, the grabber, and a tote, like in her trunk. Hello, Wyatt. Thanks for being here. But it's going to be different. Everything is going to be different. Again, I'm so grateful to my friends, those of you wonderful people that have joined over with me on my current obsession, have been helping me process what this means for my family, for the channel, and most especially for me. Because this is a huge, like kind of a life thing. It's like a huge, it is. And it seems so trivial in so many ways, but, and I'm not going to go like all the way more into it here now because I've done that over on the other channel and I don't feel the need necessarily to do that like here. But it's a loss. It is. It's a loss. It's a loss of a certain amount of independence. I will obviously have a car here, the Acura, but it is also James's like camping car. I don't know if that makes sense. Like he's built out this really awesome setup in the back of his car. He's even got solar panels and all that so that he can go up into the mountains on his own or with his homies or with me and don't need a tent, don't, whatever. And you just lay this thing out and all set up and you got power and you got everything. And it's really, really neat. And oftentimes, these bike trips are on the weekends. Now that would still leave the work car, I suppose. And that's something I'm going to have to discuss with him because I don't want to, it's one thing to use your spouse's car and not necessarily commandeer, but like, you share, right? Well, Olivia, there's her first car and I don't want to, even though she has very generously offered and I appreciate it so much, I don't want to impose too much on her. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. Holy shit. Wyatt, Jesus God. What are you doing here? Sorry, that didn't come out right. I don't know what to say. I'm so sorry, Wyatt. That is an unimaginable loss, and I am so sorry that you are going through that. And if you're here for support, distraction, what have you, then we're here. And we're here to support you. I, I, I will only say, though, that this is not my cheeriest day. And the subject matter and what we're discussing today is not the most pleasant and fun. And so I apologize if this place does not bring much comfort to you. But know that you're in my heart. And I am sending you love and strength and comfort from here in Utah. And I'm so sorry. I'm so incredibly sorry that you're going through that. No one should have to go through that, and I'm so sorry. Yeah, it is a lot, Wyatt, but you're doing the right thing, reaching out to not be alone. Okay, so on a happier note, I really am in love with this, whatever, orange cream Coca-Cola Zero. I'm really in love with it. It's so good. I mean, it's so good. I highly recommend it. It's so good. Okay, so, so, the van. So, all the things. Oh, Wyatt, thank you so much. This is a place to give and to feel love. We've got a really awesome community here. So, what now? What now? I have been thinking it over, processing all of it, thinking of what are our options, what are our things, what are we going to do. Judy, but did you try the orange kind? This is orange cream. I'm telling you. They also have it in not zero, so you could try that. Okay, so anyway, I've been sussing it over. And like I said, we've been talking it out over on my current obsession. We have talked and talked, we've discussed, we've gone through all of the different things, the loss, the sadness, the emotional part of it. For instance, we have Wyatt, I don't know yet. I will be live streaming. It's a totally different kind of content situation, but I do live stream every day over on my current obsession, and I'll be over there later this evening if you want to sub over there, but it might not be the right place for, I don't know, it depends. It's a different environment, different situation. But you're more than welcome. As far as here, I will put up a community post and let you know for sure when we'll be here again. But you're in my heart. All right, sweetie. Okay, so so we've talked about how much the van has meant to our family. And of course, we have made a million memories in the van. And we've been through a lot of things with the van. And it's been our dumpster diving van. And it's, it's all of these things. And all of it. Okay. And it's sad. It's just a car, but it's a car that has been a huge part of our life for over half of our married life, so yeah, it matters. It's a thing. So there's that aspect. Okay. And then there's the aspect where I'm thinking about my own independence or lack thereof, and adjusting mentally to that, mentally and emotionally and logistically. I have doctor's appointments, and right now we don't have another car. We have James works full time, Olivia works full time. I have doctor appointments basically full time. And we only have the one car, and it's tricky right now. It's very tricky. We're figuring it out, and we're making things work. And ideally, James and Olivia will have their, other cars soon, but I don't want to make plans anywhere inside of a month just to be safe, because I don't want to, set myself up for disappointment or, frustration. A lot of places that I need to go, doctor's appointments, whatever, I can either walk if they're like early enough in the morning, because holy hell, it's hot and we are heading into another heat wave here in Utah, so that it's not safe to walk to them if it's anywhere past like 10 o'clock in the morning, especially in, with my condition and etc. So, there's those like kind of logistical concerns, right? The other thing is, I mean, most of them are near and close by, and getting like an Uber or something would be feasible, because they're near and close by, and it would definitely not cost, it wouldn't break the bank. But most of the things that I need to do are close enough that if I can schedule them early enough, I can walk. And so we're kind of sussing that out. Then at the same time, we are also planning our road trip for next month for James and I for our 20th wedding anniversary. And so it's like, it's a big thing. It's a huge thing. 20 years. My God, but it's also like a financial thing. And so I'm trying to suss that out and balance that out with getting a car and with, whatever. I had thoughts, and this is not happening, so please don't freak out on me. Please, I beg you. I had these thoughts, like of just saying, okay, well, that's it. That's fate. That's fate telling me you're done. It's time to retire. I'm not. I've had time to think it out. I've had time to talk to myself and to the wind. I'm not retiring. I'm not retiring. I'm not. But I don't know what I'm doing at this moment. And I don't anticipate that I'll know anytime soon. And you can't take an Uber dumpster diving. So, we still have the new studio shed to finish sorting. Thank you, Rita. Thank you so much. Yeah, 20 years. It's crazy. It's 20 years and it's yesterday. Time is a wacky thing anymore. We still need to finish sussing out the rest of the goodies from the public school dumpster dive out in the studio shed, and we will be doing that live this week. Early one of these mornings. I have not designated which morning. Jamie Jaime Marie. Oh my God. Babe, you're gonna have to like go back and hear all of it. That's exactly why I was like, oh, I should just do this in an edited video, then I don't have to tell the thing over and over. But basically, here's what it is. My darling, the dumpster diving van is no more. She has retired. She let us know she's done. And now we're working out the direction from here on out. I am not retiring. The van has retired, but I have not. So we're sussing things out, but I will probably within this, I'm giving myself a month for us to have figured things out. I am not retiring from dumpster diving, but we have logistics to sort out. We have our anniversary road trip to go on. We have the kids to get back to school. I have some procedures coming. There's things. So I'm giving myself a month to figure it all out. The other one of the benefits of that is we give ourselves time to get through the like dog days of summer and these heat waves, so that it'll definitely be cooler before we get back into the dumpsters. Because to get into them right now is actually kind of dangerous. It is kind of dangerous. Yeah, Rita, we had that van for almost 14 years. Yeah, isn't that crazy? It was a huge part of our life. A huge part of our life. So many memories, and I'm so grateful to that van. Thing I loved most about it, it was paid off. So, anyway, so, yeah, it is, Jamie Jaime Marie, especially because it was already a used car. So it was actually a 2004. So she wasn't a spring chicken anymore, but she did her best, and we were so grateful. And I am so grateful. A little bit nervous about where we go from here. But like I said, I've had time to think about it and suss it out and talk it out with a bunch of you over on My Current Obsession. And I'm so grateful for the support and for being a sounding board and helping me kind of suss it all out. So I want to give myself this month. We've got to finish sussing out the studio shed, get the last of that public school stuff sorted through, get things organized, try to do the yard sale, and work on that. That needs to be done. So I will be live streaming here later this week, super early in the morning. I don't know which day yet. I got to figure that out with the other things I have going on. So stay tuned. I will, of course, put a community post and let you guys know when that's going to happen. But we had a little bit left that we just could not get done before this road trip that Olivia and I went on. So there's a little bit more of that to go through. We do have some repairs on some items that need to be done. We have upcycling to do. And so those things will still be happening here. But, oh, really, Alyssa? Okay. Thanks so much for the info. That's good to know. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So to kind of round it up a little bit. So the van is dead. Rest in peace. Olivia is getting her own car, which was already the plan anyway. She has generously offered to take me dumpster diving a couple of times a month. And that's awesome. I'm so grateful. James will be getting a work car. The Acura will be the family car, but not a dumpster diving car. And so we're going to suss it out. We're going to work it out, but it's going to take a minute. And then we have several things that we've got going on over this next month. Plus, it is so hot. And we've got like this next heat wave coming. We had a few days of respite. Oh, it was wonderful. But no, it's just shooting right back up. So I'm giving myself a month to suss out all these details, figure it all out, to sell the van to the junkyard, which I'm really, oh God, that's going to be so hard. We've gotten rid of other cars in the past. Of course we have. We've been married 20 years. And they weren't, well, other than my Honda. When we got married, I had this glorious, sporty 2-door Honda Accord with all the bells and whistles, special edition. God, she was amazing. And I cried for days after we had to sell her. That was rough. That was so rough. But this is different. This is, it's our children's childhood, all of it in this van. All the adventures, the road trips, the birthdays, we've taken kids here, taken kids there, going to school activities, all of it, going to the doctor, everything. And then, of course, everything with you guys. The beginning of the genesis of our dumpster diving adventure, our life, like years ago, parts of it were in that van. Some of the early days were in that van. So it is so bittersweet. Mostly just bitter, to be honest, to be fair, to be real. Allow me a moment to just straight up be honest. It mostly is just bitter. Mostly. Because it was not at all part of my plan. I had things all laid out, physically doing so much better. We've been through all this stuff, gotten my spine sizzled and doing all this physical therapy for a year and all these different procedures. And now I'm able to dumpster dive again. I'm able to do it. We finally got the studio shed built. Oh my God, hallelujah. We got the studio shed built. We had all this plan in place. And then, but if you've been with us for any amount of time, that really should not even be a shock or anything. Almost never have things gone really how we had planned here at the Frugal Family home. Yeah, Alyssa, it's gonna be toasty. Jamie, Jaime, Marie, yeah, that you've got it there in Michigan too. God, it's rough, you guys. It's rough, and we have to be careful. So the beauty of look at me switching gears into a let's look at the positive. Let's be optimistic. Here we go. Um, we're changing gears. So the beauty of the month is that we have time to suss out all these other things that we need to do. The anniversary road trip, getting the kids back to school, other things that I have going on, things that getting. Hi, Laura. Yeah, it's just hot. Good God, this is my kind of least favorite part of summer, where it's just almost stifling. Yeah, don't love it. Need to finish getting the shed sussed out. And we'll be doing that in really early morning live streams. Stay tuned. I will announce those. So there's stuff that we need to do. And then, like I said, one of the benefits of that is that after that month-long period, it will start cooling down and it'll be a lot safer to go dumpster diving. In however we are doing that, most likely in Olivia's car or possibly in James's new work car. Because it's not going to be like a fancy car. It's not, whatever. Anyway, those are things that he and I are going to have to discuss and talk out and compromise. And, it's going to be a process. But we've got a month that I'm setting that we're going to figure that out. It doesn't mean I'm not going to be on here for a whole month. But probably not dumpster diving for a whole month. So then that brings me to the next thing. And this is another difficult thing. I am going to make an announcement over on Patreon. Yeah, Pamela, absolutely. And hallelujah for that, right? Hallelujah for that. But yeah, we'll be avoiding that horrible heat that I normally have to deal with that is really dangerous, and all the wasps that come with it. Jamie, Jaime, Marie, it was so wonderful, an absolute treat to have you here. Thanks for being here. So there are lots of benefits to that. There are silver linings, absolutely, yes. But here's the other thing. And this one is, oh, thank you, my darling. You're so great. This one is also difficult. And I still, even having talked it out with our friends over on My Current Obsession, even having sussed it out internally and thought it out and all of it, and I'll make some kind of announcement about it because I know not everyone will see it here. I will make some kind of announcement over on Patreon, but this will be the last month of Patreon here at the Frugal Family. Oh, I said it. I said it. I did it. I said it. I will have a separate new Patreon setup over on My Current Obsession, as I am working, putting my time into that channel to grow that channel as I suss things out here and get things in place to be able to continue doing the work here. But ethically, I don't feel right about our incredibly generous Patreon members, who many have been members for years, just so incredibly wonderful, so generous. I don't feel right having that continue when I don't know what I can promise. And what I've liked to do for quite some time is to at least guarantee 2 dumpster diving, either actual dumpster dives or dumpster diving related videos, minimum per month, plus weekly live streams and that kind of thing. That's what I've been trying to provide for everyone, but especially for those who have been financially supporting us every month through Patreon. And I don't feel confident at all that I can continue to provide that. Again, I am not retiring. I'm not quitting. That's not happening. I've worked too hard, too long to build this channel. That's not what's happening. Plus, we need the financial savings that come with dumpster diving. Alyssa, I've seen that you've mentioned that a couple times, but I can't do it. I can't do it. It's not, I can't. You know, people have mentioned you should do a GoFundMe, you should, you know, do this kind of thing. I can't do it. I can't. Why? Because I go to Disneyland. How the hell am I going to be the person that says, help me get a new dumpster diving car when you guys have seen me go to Disneyland and Disney World so many times? I can't do that. I am so incredibly grateful for the generosity and the kindness and the thoughtfulness of suggesting that. And I just love you for it, Alyssa. I love you for saying that and suggesting it, but I can't do it. And it's not just a pride thing. Obviously, that's part of it because that's who I am. But I go to Disney. In this economy, there's no way that I could feel good about that. And I am absolutely not judging anyone else that utilizes those kinds of things for needs in their lives. Please don't take it that way. I am not. But, oh, hi, Anita. I'm so glad you're here. But for me personally, in this situation, I can't do that. I wouldn't feel right or honest. You didn't need to remove it, Alyssa. You absolutely didn't need to. I am so grateful that you think so highly of me and of our family and that you support us so much that way. It means the world. You have no reason to have to remove that. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's me. It's not you. It's me. For real. You know, a lot of it's pride, but it's also optics, you know, how it would look and stuff like that. And we'll figure it out. We're not rich, but we're not poor. You know what I mean? Like we're going to be okay, and I'm going to figure it out. Will sacrifices have to be made and compromises and stuff like that? Yeah, absolutely. But that's life. And we'll figure it out. I promise we will figure it out. I just need to because Judy, think about how that looks. Now, the people that are our longtime supporters and our hardcore frugal friends would have no problem with it. And I know that. I know that. But I guarantee you, there will be people, welcome back, Phyllis. There will be people who will say, Vicki, you're here. That's what matters. That's plenty. Please, that's plenty. There will be people that say, but wait a minute. You guys go to Disney. Most people can't afford to go to Disney. What are you doing having a GoFundMe for a car? You're such a this or such a that. And in this economy, who do you think you are? You know what I mean? Like, do you see? Like, and I can't deal with that. With the negativity and the, you know, the judgment and stuff that quite rightly would result. And what would I say to that? Yeah, I know, I went to Disney and stuff like that, but you guys, you know, you should help pay for this car. You know, it's, I don't know. But I am, again, so incredibly grateful for that generosity of thought that you have. And it means so much to me. And that's how I know how much you guys care. And it means the world to me. But I promise you, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out one way or another. We'll figure it out. I need a month to suss all this. There's a lot going on and it's so hot. And it's hard to think and hard to, you know, suss when it's so hot. You know what I mean? So, okay. So the Patreon. like I said, I'm going to have a separate Patreon when I get around to doing it, which it's on my list, but yeah, over on my current obsession. I'm just not going to have a Patreon here because, oh, thank you, Anita. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rita. We're going to work on it. We'll figure it out. It just might, it's going to take a minute, you know? But think about it. Like back in the day, I dragged 3 little kids around with me. I planned out routes so that I knew where all the bathrooms were. I had snacks, movies, drinks, like toys, books, and took them with me. Hold on, we got a sneeze coming. Maybe. Oh, it's coming, but it's taking its time. Anyway, and I did all that and made that work and was able to dumpster dive. We figure it out. And I will. I just need a minute, you know. Anita, that is a thought. That is a very valid thought. I think my thought process is, let me explain it, but with a disclaimer. I am so grateful for our Patreon friends. They're amazing. So generous and kind. But with financial support comes obligations and some pressure. Not that they mean to put pressure on me at all. Absolutely not. But that's what I feel ethically, morally, what have you, business-wise, that because they pay X amount, whether it's $1, $20, whatever more, per month, that they deserve to get something for it. You know what I mean? And so where I do feel that way and feel like I need to follow through, it does put a certain pressure on me to provide. And right now, I don't know what I can provide beyond what I've mentioned already. We're going to finish with the shed. We're going to do those things. And we're going to work on, you know, getting back to the dumpster diving once we figure out, you know, the car situation and all of that, which will take a minute. And so it's like, it does put a pressure on me to provide. And I have several layers of pressure on me right now. And so having that as well is difficult. Okay, Alyssa, that is fair. To ask them what they think, that is very fair. And you're right. You're right. That is the right thing to do. It is. You're right. You're right. I kind of feel like a ding dong for not thinking about, you should get their input too. You understand that, Anita? Oh, I appreciate that. I'm so glad. Okay. Here's what we can do. This is what I'll do. I will craft a post over on Patreon. This is what I'll do. I think this is fair. I will post over there and I will say, basically everything that I've said here. That this is the situation. I'm planning to shut it down. There is the option of pausing it for 1 or more months, or just completely shutting it down. I don't know. I will, and I will explain all of those things and the fact that I cannot make any promises about the future or the present or anything, and maybe express how I feel about wanting to provide something, compensation, something for they're financially supporting. I want to provide something. And then also maybe explain kind of the pressure that I feel because of that and the kind of added stress that that brings. That's what I'll do. Cheers. Y'all are a great sounding board. You guys really help me think things out and suss things out, and I appreciate that so much. Thank you, Lab, and thanks for being here, Lab. Yeah, you know what? You guys are right. You're right, and I feel kind of silly for not thinking that. I was mostly just thinking of just like a clean break, but that's not that's especially for those that have been supporting us for so freaking long over there, that's just not the right thing. And you're right. You're right. Okay. Will I most likely shut it down? Unless our Patreon friends really feel like that's not the right avenue, then yeah, most likely I'm going to. Because I just feel like maybe that's the right thing to do. But if they, as the actual people affected, request otherwise, then I will absolutely take that into consideration. Yeah. So thank you for helping me suss that out. I do appreciate it very much. It's, it's never polite to talk about money. That's just, you know what I mean? Like, we've always been taught that that's, a thing, and it's just, you don't talk about that kind of stuff, right? But, sometimes you do have to. Sometimes you got to talk about it. So we did. And I feel good about what we've kind of sussed out. Exactly. Thank you, Lab. Thank you. God, thank you. Yes, exactly. And especially with over the years, all the hiatus and times that we've had to, with me being broken or the kids sick or the this or the that or whatever, and they've stuck with us through all that. I just, you can only ask someone to go so far with you. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, one of the biggest concerns has been to not offend anyone by ending it, by ending the Patreon. Not the channel, not the dumpster diving, but the Patreon. And so I apologize sincerely if this thought process has been offensive to any of our past or present Patreon friends. Okay? That's not at all my intention to offend or hurt feelings. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yeah, I don't want to take advantage or for anyone to feel like they're being taken advantage of or not getting what they're paying for in this economy. You know what I mean? You guys, you know what I mean. I know you know. So that's what I'll do. I will put together a post over on Patreon. I'll work on that today. That's what I'll do. Okay? And I'll put that up over there. And then I'll go from there. And I'll give it the rest of this month. Because we've got a few days, right? We've got a few days. I know, but Judy, I worry about that. I worry about it. Money is such a, it's a tricky subject. We all know that. It makes you uncomfortable. It's an awkward, uncomfortable conversation. No, that's what I'll do. I will put together a post. I'll do that over on Patreon. I will let them absolutely put in their thoughts and whatever, and then decide from there. And that does make sense because we're coming up on the end of the month, but we've got a few days. So that gives a few days for hopefully all of them to see it. And I will maybe do like a short video or something like that here to hopefully get more eyes on it for them to see and give their input. And then I can go from there and either shut it down at the end of this month, which is the plan, or pause it, or, you know, whatever, if that seems to be the right path, the requested path, whatever. Oh, Lab, and I'm not the nicest, kindest person ever, but yeah, I do care. I really do care. Especially in this economy. I understand. I know. Anyway, well, we got that kind of elephant out of the way. At least mostly, right? Like, it's not in the middle of the room now. So I really appreciate you guys talking that out with me and helping me suss it out. It's a tricky time. Like I said, I had this whole plan. Now that my body is doing so great, I went hiking. I did, amazing hiking on this road trip. It was so good. Oh, it was awesome. Feeling so good, ready to, get back in the bins, what have you. With my Reagan helping me every week. And, we've got the studio shed now. Good God, we finally have the studio shed. And we're going to, working on this and doing that. And we're, going for this. And then, that's life. Things come up. And the most consistent thing in our journey here on YouTube and in our life, has been the roller coaster of surprises. And kind of this and kind of some loop-de-loops and some corkscrews and some and some it's been all of those things. And this is just another of those. There's this ride at Lagoon. That's the only theme park here in Utah. And it's in Farmington, Utah. And when we were driving home from the road trip, we went past, and we were in a rented car, just FYI. We were driving through Farmington, and as we're cruising along, this ride called the Cannibal, or just Cannibal, there's this huge tower, and you get in your ride vehicle, and then you're lifted up. It's like an elevator, goes, and then you stop, and this door, I'm even getting flutters. Oh, God. This door opens, and you can see out over the valley. You see everything for miles, and it's so beautiful. And then you very slowly, you move forward out of this elevator onto the track. And let me see if I have something that could, I don't have anything to really show it, but it's similar to like a nose, basically a nose. So here's EpiPen. Here's the elevator, only it's square. And so you get up to the top, a door opens, you see out, then you come out onto this little bit of track that's like, it looks like a nose. So it literally goes like, boop, boop, a nose, okay? And so you come out onto this little nose, and then you very slowly edge forward, and the nose goes like this, okay? Like, I have a video of it over on Frugal Family Flies Again, like a POV with my GoPro on that ride. Oh my God, it's so awesome. So anyway, as we're driving and we're passing Lagoon, right as we're passing it, there's a ride car out on the nose getting ready to go. And traffic slowed. There was like construction, and so, which is so aggravating, and yet it was so perfect because we ended up in stop and go traffic. We have to stop. So I got to stop and watch, which was so much fun, as the ride car came out on the nose and went. It is so thrilling, so terrifying when you're out on that nose and then you look down, you know, and then you just, and not only do you go down, but then you come back in, and it is, my goodness Lord, amazing. If you get the chance and you don't have a heart condition, I am telling you, that ride, it's so scary. And I've jumped out of airplanes. It is so scary. And then like it has these corkscrews, and it's fast, but not so fast that you don't know you're in the corkscrew. You feel every second of it. And because of like the G forces and whatever on these parts, once you're in a position, you're stuck in that position. So you got to make sure you're centered on the seat with your head back. Otherwise, like one time I got stuck kind of like this. That was unpleasant. It is so wild. And the thing about the corkscrews on it is that they have long sections, not like super long, but long enough that you feel it and you experience it where you're upside down. Yeah. Hi, Amy. I'm so glad you could join us. So these corkscrews, you know, the upside down parts, they go for longer than I've experienced on any of the other roller coasters that I've been on. So you feel the upside down, and oh my God, there's no shoulder restraint. Like I'm feeling the, no shoulder restraints. Can you even? There's no shoulder restraints. It's just this thing that comes over your lap and your ankles. So there's like these little things kind of like this that go over your ankles, okay, over your feet and your ankles, and then this thing that goes over your lap. Oh, and a seat belt. There is a seat belt. So seat belt, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure. Seat belt, and then these things that lock onto you. So during those corkscrews, during the upside down part, you are hanging from that thing. You're hanging from it. Like, all of that to say, life is like that sometimes. And I know, guys, it's not for everyone. I know that. Let me check my battery. Oh, we're doing great. It is so not for everybody. Absolutely. I know that. But it is so exhilarating, and you feel so alive. Oh, I miss it. Yeah. Anyway, it was so fun when we were driving home to see that, you know, it just, because even not even being on it, but watching it, thinking about it, I get, you know, all the kind of feelings. And I'm glad I saw that, because it was a bit of a preparation, a foreshadow, if you will, of things to come, and of us getting home and finding out that the van is no longer safe to drive, and as a 21-year-old van, not worth the thousands of dollars that it would take to make her safe again, and kind of preparing me for these adventures that we are now on as we suss things out. Anyway. I feel you, Judy. I know. And sometimes you just have to do it. We have to do what we have to do. And in this time and situation, yeah, it's a rough time for a lot of people. I know that. I understand that completely. And that's why I feel the way that I do about ending the Patreon. Mm-hmm. Alyssa, good Lord. I didn't know they had to do that to get hearing aids. My God. Oh, Pamela. Oh, yeah. Oh my God, I love walking across tall bridges. Except there's these ones in Asia. Let me think. I think there's one in China, and then excuse me, seems like there was one in like either Taiwan, Singapore, somewhere where the glass bridges. We went on this road trip, we went up in the Space Needle in Seattle, Washington, and the lower level is glass. I was so terrified. So I can only imagine going on one of those glass bridges. Good Lord. But oh, anyway, yeah. Amy, so I apologize. I explained a lot of it earlier. I'll give you just the recap, but then I do encourage you to go back in the live stream where we kind of talk it all out. Olivia's going to get her own car. We're going to help her get a loan. She's going to get her own car. And she has generously offered to take me dumpster diving a couple of times a month. James will be getting a work car that gets better mileage than his Acura. And I will be using the Acura during the week. And then that's what we have figured out so far. No, we will not be getting another van. We've been kind of past that point for our family for a few years now that the kids, it's just not like if we go on a family trip, we rent a car. The van is it's just not necessary. Is it nice to have the extra room of a van? Yeah, but it's just not, the van is not safe to drive long distances anymore. It wasn't even before I came home and found all this out. And we tend to, okay. Harris Saad Shaikh. I'm sorry if I am totally butchering your name. Came in with a $2 super chat and a question. And we tend to avoid politics over here on the Frugal Family. But I'm going to say, because you paid, I am going to answer, but I'm not going to get into a political discussion. Okay? Can we agree on that? Shake hands? Okay? Thank you so much for your generosity, and I will answer your question, but I won't get into a political discussion here. If you are interested in the freedom of discussion and talking more things out, join me over on my current obsession, where I have far less restrictions and all of that on what I'm talking about. Trump or Musk? Neither. That's my answer. Neither. What are you doing? Okay, there comes Harris in again with another $2 super chat. Thank you. Saying you're an amazing person. Thank you. God, you guys love to make me cry. Terry, hi Terry, I'm so glad you're here. Harris, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm sure I'm not. I can almost guarantee that we will never meet in this life, in this world. That's pretty certain, right? But you don't know what a difference that little comment, that little super chat made for me just now. Because I've not been feeling like an amazing person for several days. Sussing things out. Also dealing with like all kinds of hormonal imbalances, which, ladies, am I right? So thank you for that. I needed that. And like I said, that's wild. Seriously, I can guarantee we'll never meet. That's not going to happen. Though I did finally meet up with Rita, and that was amazing. Rita and Rick, they very generously welcomed me into their home in Oregon, and that was so wonderful. But the majority of our YouTube friends, we will never meet. But the impact that you guys have on my life, on my family, I don't think you'll ever know. I don't know. Without being a YouTuber yourself, and even if you were, it's not, because each of us lives a different life, rides a different roller coaster. And I just don't think you can know um, how much you guys mean to me, how much you have changed my life, changed the course of my life, made so much of my life possible, made it possible for me to do so many things and fulfill so many dreams. Um, and isn't that wild? Especially in a time of so much negativity and doom and gloom and horror and strife and struggle, that a simple little thing like our YouTube relationship can make so much difference. But in the end of the at the end of the day, that's just humanity. That's just people being human. And I saw a comment, who was it? Terry says it's nice that you separate the just regular, fairly apolitical stuff from your more candid stuff. And thank you, Terry. Yeah, I try my best. I try so hard to do that, and on here to be more filtered, more censored. I'm still a sailor, in but I do my best over here to, whereas over on my current obsession, I'm far more open about that. But I do try my best, and I'm glad that you see that. Um, but but we're human, and I think we forget that, and it gets lost in the sauce. Um, a guy that I watch a lot called Penguin Z0. His name is Charlie. The kids got me onto him, and anyway, they've got me onto so many things that I end up addicted to or obsessed with. But um, yeah, he says that a lot. Lost in the sauce, and I think our humanity, unfortunately, does get lost in the sauce, as it were, when it's politics and it's strife and it's struggle and it's us versus them, and all this kind of thing. And especially when it comes down to money and feeding your family and being safe and all of that, being human can somehow and in its way remove our humanity. Like, the human condition can often make us forget, yeah, we are all just human trying to live our best life and feed our family and have a little bit of fun and happiness here and there. And I think we forget that, but we also, in getting caught up so much in the strife, and pitted against each other and all that, we forget that, God, your neighbor, they might fly a different flag than you. They might look different than you. They might sound different from you, but you have more in common than you have that is different. Like, there is more that's the same than is different. And they're probably a lot nicer than you think. And this is the perfect example here. And then the road trip that I just went on was also a fabulous reminder of how many good people are out there. We had so many amazing encounters. I made all these new friends that I'll never see again. A lot of them I don't know their names even, but they were wonderful. And they're just human. They're just people. All different kinds of people. We forget that. It's so easy to forget that and to be told to forget that. We're all just human. And there's more good than bad. There really is, when it comes down to just us, just the regular people. Anyway. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, someday I'm coming to Michigan. I don't know when. But someday, because I have to go to the Somewhere in Time Hotel. That movie. Jane Seymour and Christopher Reeve. Yeah. Someday I'll be to Michigan. Judy, someday I'll get back to New York. I've been there many, many times. But it is on the list to get back at some point. to make my way back. No, I would be thrilled. I would love to meet up with as many of y'all as possible in this life. That would be a pleasure, a treat. I just know that it's not, terribly likely that we'll all get to meet up, you know? But how freaking awesome is it that we can meet up right here any old time? That's so wild. I never, as a kid, would have imagined that. My biggest thing was like Inspector Gadget. Penny had a little watch where she could talk to people. She had her little book that she could open and talk to people and push all her little buttons. And I would pretend that I had something like that when I was a kid. And holy cow. Now, not only can I sit and talk to one other person, I could talk to all of you at the same time. Like, how wild is that? If I've got a Wi-Fi or data connection, we can get together and talk. It is such a gift. The internet has brought so many problems, so many issues. Y'all know. I don't need to go into it. But at the same time, look at what it's given us. It's pretty freaking amazing. In my humble opinion. Anyhow, I gotta go do some stuff. I might even be crazy and have another cup of coffee. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. It's really late. I probably shouldn't. It's after 5. Is it really after 5? Holy cow. Well, I guess we are over our hour, right? But it just really sounds yummy. You know what I mean? Coffee. And I don't have decaf because, I'm not a Philistine. Do you guys remember when I had found the, what do you call it? There was like loads and loads of coffee in, I think, the Walgreens dumpster. And there was several jars of like Nescafe decaf. Yeah. It came in handy for a minute here and there, but it's just like, and yet I feel like I should get some decaf just to have for, those nights, those evenings, like today, when it just sounds so good. And yes, I already had some. I already did. But I'm in mourning. I'm grieving over the van. Let me be a little cheeky here. Please let me be a little cheeky. Hi, Kelly. Thanks so much for being here. I'm so glad you caught us. We went overtime, and Kelly, maybe it was because we were waiting for you. How about that? Lab says go for the coffee. Ah! Oh, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. I'm glad you're here, but oh my God. She says, sorry. If I order black decaf coffee, that's code for I've been kidnapped. Call 911. Seriously. Yes. I'm with you. I am with you. Yes, Amy, I've heard that too, that coffee grounds can be used as bug repellent. Absolutely. I've heard that. Oh, Kelly, thank you so much. I'm so glad. I appreciate it. I appreciate that that you guys, you're picking up what I'm putting down, and you can take me as I am for who I am, even with the roller coasters that never seem to end. We're going to figure it out, okay? We're going to figure it out. That I promise you. So, I will be doing some early morning live streams this next week. This coming week, rather. So please stay tuned. I will put up community post announcements and possibly even some little short video announcements. And we'll get together and we will finish working out in that studio shed. We'll get it done. And then go from there. And we'll see what life has in store for us. We'll do it. Thanks for talking it all out with me, for hearing me out, for supporting me, for being here, for liking and subscribing, and for being so generous, so incredibly generous. I really appreciate it. All right. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, or if you're on the other side of the world and already into Monday, have a wonderful week. I appreciate you guys so much. Be well, be safe, and I will talk to you all really soon. P.S. Yes, I will at some point tonight live stream over on my current obsession for a little bit. So hopefully you can join me over there. Okay? All right. Bye bye.